Hello everyone! In this info video, we will focus on the biogeochemical cycles, which are the sedimentary cycle and phosphorus cycle. These biogeochemical cycles can be observed from the ecological reservoir, which is the land on Earth. There are over 510 million square kilometers of area on the surface of Earth, but less than 30% of this is covered by land. The rest is water, in the form of vast oceans. So based on the data, a small area of our Earth is covered in land, which brings us to the thought of how long would this all last? Is what we're doing right now enough to save and preserve our environment? And also, what can we do in order to lessen the harmful effects to our ecological reservoir? Later on, we will discuss more about this ecological reservoir in its steady state, the anthropogenic effects that causes harm to our land, the invasive species, and the epigenetics in this type of environment. So, stay tuned and listen to the presenters of this info video because this is a wake-up call to all of us. The time is now to make a change for the betterment of our future and for the future of our planet.
Life on Earth is interconnected in complex ecological systems and natural processes that maintain the balance and sustainability of the world. Every living thing has evolved and adapted to play specialized roles within their ecosystem. Invasive species are defined as harmful non-native organisms that can cause extensive damage when introduced, often by people, to a new ecosystem. Ironically, though humans are not non-native, we exhibit and fit this definition. Invasive species outcompete the native species and take advantage of the absent limiting factors of the new habitat. Similarly, the significant increase of human activities has resulted in the spread of pollution and destabilization of ecosystems. In doing so, we alter and damage both the balance of the ecological processes and biogeochemical cycles, which are responsible for the flow of nutrients and energy that help preserve and sustain life. We have the most negative invasive impact and conversely have the most significant positive impact in maintaining the balance of the world. Thus, we should use our power by becoming more mindful of preserving and maintaining balance.
In nature, phosphorus is mostly found in the form of phosphorate. Phosphate compounds are mostly found in sedimentary rocks, and as the rocks wear down over long periods, the phosphorus they contain slowly leaches in the surface of water and soils. Volcanic ashes, aerosols, and mineral dust can be significant phosphorate sources. Phosphorate compounds can be taken up by plants, and from there it transfers to animals that eats plants. Plants and animals excrete waste or die. Phosphorate may be taken by detritivores or returned to the soil. When phosphorus-containing compounds from bodies or waste from the marine organism sinks to the floor of the ocean, they form new sedimentary layers.
Anthropogenic effects on phosphorus cycle. Humans have a significant impact on the phosphorus cycle, mostly through the use of fertilizer and breeding of livestock. Fertilizer and hog feces contain a high concentration of phosphorus, which releases into the soil. Natural eutrophication occurs when phosphorus is introduced to water at a pace that mimics natural process. Natural phosphorus supplies nutrients to the water and increases ecosystem productivity. However, when food is transported from fields to cities, it causes anthropogenic eutrophication. Oversupply of plant nutrients causes algae growth when phosphorus levels are too high. However, these algae die or flourish, causing harm to the ecosystem plants and animals. Thus, excessive phosphorus leaching into the water harms aquatic ecosystems.
Inputs to the sedimentary cycle result from river runoff into the oceans, atmospheric transport, and glacial movement. Although direct injection into the cycle by man is at least an order of magnitude less than that of nature, it has enhanced some of the natural processes. Landscape alteration, for instance, have increased by a factor of 2 or 3 the rate of natural erosion, which represents the most critical input to the cycle. Perhaps more important than the total cycle are studies of injections of specific pollutants. Man is the primary or sole agent for the input of many constituents, such as organic and certain exotic chemicals. No part of our surrounding will be free of man's waste. The maximization of waste accommodation with minimum disturbance to natural resources and living systems should be one of the guiding concepts for managing our environment.
Many bad things happened on our planet. Epigenetic change, invasive species that damage the land, deforestation, mining, and many more dilemmas that our environment, specifically our land, encounters. The majority of our soils are under conventional chemical agriculture, and they're completely devoid of microorganisms. Modern agriculture was not designed for the betterment of the soil, but also to eradicate parasites that consistently damage the environmental landscape. It's time to act now by adopting the Global Sustainable Development Goals framework to protect and nurture our land, creating environmental movement, and reaching out to our government to create laws to protect the environment. Proper segregation of garbage and producing fertilizer to cure and help the soil to be sustainable, to produce life such as vegetables and plants for the people and animals to consume. It's not too late to save the world. The biggest contribution we can offer is by starting a small change in our mindset and action.
To sum things up, we know that sedimentary cycle and phosphorus cycle are both natural and where humans do not have control to. These cycles may be natural, but humans are responsible for contributing to the alarming environmental issues today. As this prevails, this will lead to more profound negative impacts that can affect or hurt our environment. And once the environment is affected, our planet will be affected as well. These negative impacts can result in climate change, poor air and water quality, and soil erosion. It is humanity's responsibility to take good care of our environment and planet since it provides what humans need and it is our only home. Protecting the environment and the earth will be a great way to save and sustain the continuous growth of the ecosystem. Furthermore, we can also save the animals and plants from any danger of destruction that humans cause. Once again, it is not too late to save the world. The most significant contribution we can offer is by starting a slight change in our mindset and action.